So, hi all, a very warm welcome from Tech Canvas team to this session. In this session, we will have some fruitful discussion with the candidates who are working as a successful business analyst. Let us get their experience shared with you. I am Rashmi, a senior business analyst having around 15 years of IT experience. I'm an agile practitioner and a coach to business analyst aspirants. So we have Savita Bangari today, who is working as a business analyst. Welcome, Savita, to the
Thank
session.
you. Thank you, Rashmi. Thank you for having me, and thank you, Tech Canvas, for actually making me be where I am right now.
So, yeah, Savita, can you tell us about your background prior to becoming a BA?
See, prior to becoming a BA, like I was basically, I have actually worked in the financial services industry for the last like 10 years. I've worked for big four banks. I've worked for wealth firms. I myself had been a financial planner, so I know I've been exposed to different types of financial products in the in the industry. Like I found my way out to build my career in such a way that I would stick to financial services for that reason. And I'm telling you, it's just not like everything was easy for me, but I put pieces as to what will work for me rather than chopping my career and jumping into something new. I always had planned to put them together, what will align in terms of my career. Um, and once I was a financial planner, I had keen to join big four audit firms. So I worked for KPMG as well, did few projects over there. Once I was that, then I was into audit firms. So basically, I was my previous role was working as a risk analyst. Basically, it's actually a big dealer group in Australia here, which has head offices all over the other states. And I was working as a risk analyst, basically dealing with the regulators. We have ASIC as a one regulator that we need to abide by. So I've been kind of working on the risk analyst projects for a while now. It's like past 3.5 years I've been working on that. The reason why I chose BA and is just that 2020 was the time that we all went through such different phase due to COVID. Um, and I always kind of put my time to educate myself. Like I've always, if you open up, like I've done so many courses, I'll tell you, and accreditations. um, and when 2020 came in, I was like, okay, work from home, because I never worked from home because I work for audit firms. They never allow, for security reasons and privacy reasons, never allowed me to work from home. And when 2020 came, they didn't have a choice. They had to make us work from home. And when I started working from home, I always wanted to, like, we were in so much lockdown throughout the world. We went into the bigger lockdowns, and we are still in lockdown, to be very frank. When the whole world is actually open and having the freedom, we are still in lockdowns. What I did basically is, in 2020, I wasted my time bothering about COVID and all that. But when 2021 came, I only focused on, okay, I wasted 2020, lost the opportunity. I'm not going to make that happen for 2021. So I said, okay, my new year resolution is to figure out what I want to do next, which will open up a way of opportunities rather than being stuck from where I am. So I started doing research as to, my husband is an IT. He's a delivery manager. So he always wanted me to actually kind of change my career into him. And I was always saying that, now I'm into audit firms, I'm into financial services, nowhere related to you. Just I'll stick to my own things. But then when our industry is actually going through a lot of changes. So by end of this year, we need to pass a national exam to be an auditor. And then there's so many regulations that are happening, and I didn't want to go any more further, purely because I felt that I had hit a pinnacle where there's literally a roadblock, but then not opening up opportunities for me. So that's when I started venturing into what I could become. So one day I used to think about becoming a UX designer, and then I used to ask my husband, what does the UX designer does? And then I used to do my homework, like, okay, what do they do, how much do they earn, and what is that technical skill that they need to have. Then I was like, nah, this is not what I want to do. I'm an actually ISTQB certified tester, but never worked in that testing field. So I was actually putting my pieces together like, okay, I have domain knowledge, I have testing certification. What can build my career in such a way that it will all gel together or blend together? So that's when my husband said, you're good in communicating, you're good in domain knowledge, you're good in testing. So it's basically a BA skill that you need. Then I was like, okay, hang on, let me see what a BA needs. Figured out that BA doesn't need any technical knowledge. BA, all he needs is just a bit of a testing knowledge and a domain knowledge. Then I said, okay, voila, this is all it is. And I started looking for courses. Then that's a bit of a research. Like I spend a lot of time figuring out things and I do my own way because I need to find it comfortable. So I started looking at RMIT universities over here, which were like literally charging me 10 grand to just do a 6 months course. Then I was like, what is it that makes it that special about them? Then I thought there was only a tag or a banner called IIBA endorsed. I'm like, hang on, IIBA endorsed. What's IIBA? Let me go go. I started kind of building up pieces together, and I figured out that IIBA endorsed could be from anywhere. Could be India, could be Africa, could be anywhere. It's still the same. So I said, okay, why not my home country? And then I started looking up institutes in India. And then I jumped onto few institutes who just do a BA course and then not actually specialize in it. Then I didn't want it, I kind of wanted to avoid those kind of institutes because they only focus on different things. But rather than doing different things, they should be doing one thing and one thing right. And then when I jumped onto Tech Canvas website, I just watched few free videos and got an understanding that they're very good. Like I instantly got a feeling that whatever you do it perfectly. And that kind of gelled very perfect for me. And I'm not a person like need to rely on someone to teach me. I'm a self learner and I love it that way. And then I thought, okay, there's online videos and there is a self learning mode. And then I chose, I spoke to Brijesh and said, ask, what is this online mode? What's the self-learning mode? Then he explained few things about what is like, you have a weekend classes because it's focused for people who are working and all that. And I said, look, once I get into it, I have to get into it. I can't do a weekend thing. So I said, okay, fine, let me do a self-learning. And then I enrolled for the ECBA prep course. And that course just was a breeze.
I know.
Was a such a breeze, and that motivated me to take a certification exam. And to be very frank, I was getting desperate. And what I did is, with my 70% of knowledge, I attempted the test. I failed. It's good I failed. It's because that taught me that I'm just learning what the concept is, but not actually understanding the applicable knowledge. I'm not actually kind of venturing out how know of everything. Then I said, step back, give myself another 1 week, and I said, okay, I'll learn concepts. I will learn how it is applicable. Because I can see Abhishek ji actually kind of said in one of the video that ECBA is not an exam just on the concept, but it actually kind of tests you how it is applicable. So that's
Right.
the key input I took, and I kind of started finding out every scenario how it is done. And that built my knowledge to such an extent that when I took this ECB exam the next time, I actually got higher in 4 of my subjects out of 5. When I okay, there were like a weightage questions. It said that this percentage of questions were actually from coming from one chapter. So there is actually the IBA kind of gives you guidance as to
Right.
what chapters are the major ones and what the percentage of questions were. So I was being calculative around those and trying to figure out a way as a shortcut to just nail the exam. So thinking that, okay, if I've covered 80% of that, I should be fine. But when I took the first exam, it didn't work because the questions were from everywhere. It was just not the weightage questions that was followed. Then I said, okay, now this is not going to work. I have to be 100% sure to even take the exam. It's not something that I can just take chance. So I went back, gave myself a week, prepared it so well, that I was actually getting like 90 percentages when I took the total tests, sample tests. Then I said, okay, 90, I think should be fine. And then I took the exam, and I'm telling you, ECBA, you have made such a perfect material. It's a breeze. You have to be
Wow.
confident in what you do, and it's a breeze. Totally, hats off to you guys. I
Thank you
actually
so
even
much.
emailed Abhishek sir saying it's a wonderful material, and you have the tool. You have collected everything what's needed for a person to crack the ECB exam.
Wonderful. Thank you
Mm,
so much. So, Savita, my second question, which you already answered, was how did you decide to become a BA? And I loved your journey from your non-BA to BA. And what exactly you did was the research, the organized research, what usually a BA does. So you have
correct.
actually, told the the audience here that you have to have a planned, organized approach to crack something, to achieve something, which is
Correct.
really very nice story you told about that how you actually came from a non business analyst background to to become a business analyst. So
Correct.
so my next question is, did you have any kind of apprehensions about whether you can do it any
And
time during your journey? No.
no, not really, because I was kind of just getting desperate because I wanted to get these badges. I was
Hmm.
I was a bit getting impatient. As soon as I would read or I would finish my study time, I would actually get more nervous because my husband used to stop me. It's always like, when someone says, "Don't do it just yet. Maybe you're not confident." And me being a person, someone stops me, I just go and do it. So I was the one getting really desperate to get those badges because I set myself this 2 months time where my target was to complete ECBA exam, ECBA certification. I was looking at AAC certification, and then my plan was to actually get my resume done and also get the job. So
Wow.
this this was actually a pretty much like a challenge that my husband kept saying to me that you can't do it, and I said no, I can do it.
That's
So
the attitude. Very nice.
yeah, and he's the one who's saying everyone she did it. So that makes me feel happy that yes, I'm good in getting things done. That's all a
So
person wants.
yeah. So Savita, as you mentioned that you never actually realized that you had faced any challenge, but would you suggest that the audience who are listening to us, that these kind of challenges can come in their journey?
Absolutely. See, the challenges are there in every role, whatever role they play. But then when you're focused, you know what you want. Once you know that, you will automatically, and if you're dedicated to get things done, you will put those pieces together and figure out things. Like if that is what you want to do, you need to make sure that if that is exactly what you want to do, once you set your mind that that is exactly what resonates you in terms of that's where you want to see yourself, after setting a time frame, then you will work, you will figure out things to do. Like basically when I looked at the material, I used to especially AAC material, AAC prep course. AAC prep course is beautiful, the one that you've done, but there is a lot of research that is required apart from that to really crack the AAC course, because it's actually recommended for someone who has 2 years of experience, but then it's not mandatory as per IIBA. Basically you can actually, as soon as you get ECBA, you can sit for AAC, but you need to have a system thinking how it can reflect in your role, and actually kind of put a research in place saying how it is done, when it is done, and those kind of research actually helps you. And there's so many senior BAs who have actually put in a very practical knowledge in each of their websites. Like if you see, there's so much of material everywhere available. You just need to follow them, subscribe them, and then you'll see the information flowing from them because they are seniors in a sense. They're there to teach you. There's so many YouTube videos that actually talk about everything, and there are a couple of them that I actually follow are such resourceful. Whenever I read a concept, then I actually kind of go onto their website and see what they've written anything about it, and that actually helped me to actually prepare for my interview, to reflect on my work and actually prepare for my interview, which was again, all goes hand in hand, I guess.
Wow. So, Savita, now as you have already achieved your goal, what would be your top three advice? Any suggestions you want to, give it to the participants here?
Um, See, in terms of three advice, I would say choose your battles.
Hmm.
Definitely choose your battles. You just can't. I mean, you need to know if that's what you want. It's very important to get clarity. Like, you just can't do it saying, okay, I'll give a try. Nah, it's not a place for someone who just want to try and see what it is. Um, I know there are so many free materials on Tech Canvas, which kind of gives you an insight of what that course is, which is another one thing which made me listen to those videos or look at the videos and audios, got me an understanding that okay, that's the mode of teaching is quite clear. So if you that gives you an insight of whether to join or not. That's good enough for a person to decide if I really want to become a BA and if I really want to go do the course. So I think you guys have wonderful material, and if people just are hanging there just to decide, or they're not sure of what the course involves, and I can 100% say people who go through the ACBA course can, and you have that dedication to complete, you have the toolkit there.
So your suggestion is to go through Tech Canvas materials for the ECBA examination. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Thanks, Savita. Nice advices, wonderful advices, wonderful your, and I'm really, excited to know about your journey. The way you have actually, handled your planned approach like a BA, like a, typical BA, how they approach it's wonderful. So
Yeah.
all the best, Savita, for your future ahead, career ahead, and thanks from Tech Canvas team.
Thank you, Rashmi. Thank you, everyone. Actually, Abhishek ji and Rajesh sir, everyone have been so supportive for me throughout this journey. Yeah, I thank everyone actually.